So this is the first part of a two-part tutorial where we are going to take inspiration from this desk organizer here, and we're going to try to learn how to recreate it ourselves in Autodesk Fusion. So we're going to swipe across here. As usual, we are going to click Save. I'm going to call it Slanted Organizer Remake. You can call yours whatever you want. I'm going to click Save, and I am going to start with a new component, and I'm going to call this one Outside Shell. And what I mean by that is, I guess this black bit here with the white bits being a separate print that goes inside. Okay, so we are going to create a sketch, and we are going to do our sketch on the front plane here. We're going to zoom out a little bit, and we're going to start off by drawing a pretty big line, and we're only going to use part of it. So let's get our line tool, and we're going to start off about here, and then let us go all the way down to, in fact, let me hit escape. Let me start off somewhere that's easier for us to get to, because it's easier to start in the corners of some of these boxes. So I can zoom out to about here, and I'm going to go down to here, and then I'm going to hit on the green tick. Next up, I am going to grab my offset, and I'm going to click here, and offset makes a copy of something and it offsets it by a certain kind of amount that you can specify. So I'm going to say 160 millimeters. I'm going to hit return there, and then I can actually click and drag this. So remember, this is just there for information. It's just like a label. It's, in this case, it's a dimension. So I'm going to click on my line tool, and I'm going to, anywhere in this space here, I'm just going to click once and then click twice, and make sure that that little square is there. You can see the little square, which means you're at a right angle. And then now I'm going to hit dimension, and I'm going to click here, come down to the origin point, and it means that I can specify how long I want this distance to be. So 120 millimeters or 12 centimeters. And then I'm going to offset this line. I'm going to drag it downwards, and I want it to be minus 200. So these are kind of like numbers that I've played about with in order to get the shape that I want. Let me do one last line. So I'm going to come from here, just anywhere out to the side. And don't worry about these extra bits, we can ignore them when we're doing our extrude. So the next thing we're going to do is, let me see, we're going to finish our sketch, and we are going to hit on the home button here, and we can shift and two fingers to have a look at the profile that we've made. I'm going to press E for extrude, or you can click up here, remember, and I'm going to choose symmetrical, and I'm trying to remember the size of this. Let me just think for a second. Yeah, so I think it was 160 was the total width of what we wanted. So because we're going to symmetrically extrude in both directions here, if we do 80 by 80, you see what we're going to get. We've got a new body here. So that gives us the kind of outline of our desk organizer. Ours is actually facing the other way. It's just the way that we've decided to model it. So from here, what do we do next? Let me see. We are going to shell this bit outside so that we've got space to put things inside it. So we can click on the shell command. We can come in here, and what was the exact measurements? I think it was about 3 millimeters. And I'm going to hit OK. Yeah. So again, looking back at the example here, they had this really ornate kind of pattern that they've cut into the black, outside section here. We're going to start off with something a little bit simpler, but it's going to require us to go through the same kind of steps. So we're going to sketch on this right hand side of our shape, our body. So I can move it to the middle, I can zoom in a little bit, and from here we are going to first of all click on the offset. So I can click on the outside section of it there, and we are going to offset this by -8, which means it's going to come in a little bit. Yeah. So I'm going to hit OK. And then from here, we are going to actually do another offset. This time we're going to uncheck the chain. Chain selection means, in fact, let's do it with the chain selection first of all. So that's going to select all of these connecting edges. If I switch it off though, you can see that I can select and unselect. Oh, I should be able to unselect what's going on. Let's try again. Offset. Maybe it's easier just to have it switched off at the start, and I can select individual lines. So I can drag this out this way. I'm going to drag it in this way. I'm going to make some kind of pattern with it. So I'm going to say -9 millimeters. I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to do a rectangular pattern. And hopefully this works out, because it takes a little bit of having the correct measurements. So the object is just going to be this single line. The direction is going to be following this kind of angle, I guess. And I'm going to change this to spacing. And I want each of my spaces to be the same as what I had before, so that's 9 millimeters. And then I'm just going to keep on adding to the quantity. And you'll see a little grey line appearing there. And I'm going to keep on going. And if I did my math right before, you should see that it's going to fill this space evenly. So I'm going to hit OK. And from there, I am simply going to finish my sketch. And I can click the home button. Yeah, and I can shift 2 fingers to look about. And I'm going to use these new profiles to extrude. So I'm only going to select every second one. And then we are going to use this as our pattern. And we can just click and drag this arrow all the way through, and it should automatically change to cut. And I can hit OK. And then we've got a pretty nice looking outside. Similar effect without some of the complexity. This little bit down at the bottom, so we're going to make ourselves a slightly more stable base. The way we're going to do that is we're going to look down here, simple extrude. I can drag that down by 10 millimeters, 1 centimeter, and then I can also taper this out here, and I can show you that that's tapering it. That's actually tapering it in, not really what we want. So I'm going to go from 15 degrees outwards, and you can see it gives a 15-degree angle there, which creates a nice little base. So I'm going to say OK. Yeah, and that's the first bit done. So far, so good.